A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You're listening to Now This Is Lit, a podcast about Star Wars books, the people who make them, and the readers who just can't get enough of them. I'm your host, Meg Dowell. I use she, her pronouns. And it's another new Star Wars book day. My favorite day of the month, basically, because there's only been 1 month in 2022 so far where we haven't gotten a new Star Wars novel. Wild. That is not a complaint, by the way. Quest for the Hidden City by George Mann is the latest book out today in Phase 2 of the High Republic. It's the middle grade edition in this wave of releases. Path of Deceit by Justina Ireland and Tessa Gratton is the young adult book, and Convergence by Zoraida Cordova, out November 22nd, is the adult novel. If you don't know, each wave is 3 books, and it's 1 adult novel, 1 young adult novel, and 1 middle grade novel. This is the middle grade one. I just finished Convergence, by the way. Loved it. This is not a spoiler. Quest for the Hidden City takes place around the same time as the other 2 books, just in a different place in the galaxy. It tells 2 intertwining stories. One of a group of Jedi in search of, you guessed it, a hidden city. And the other is about a father and son desperately trying to survive on a seemingly hostile planet. Miraculously, it does not end as tragically as you might expect. The book is short, simple, and quick, but that's not a bad thing. I like to call middle-grade High Republic books palate cleansers, because while they take place around the same time as the other books and reflect similar themes, by nature they're just not quite as dark. Sandwiched between a YA and adult novel, they're the perfect breather between a tragic story and a very, very, very tragic story. It's fine. We're all fine here. Maybe. I adore these books overall, the middle grade ones, because you can pretty much read them in a weekend, sometimes in a day. The characters are extremely compelling, despite the fact that you only get to spend a very short amount of time with them, and surprisingly to some, they add a lot of depth and context to the other High Republic stories that take place around the same time they do in the timeline. The other point of excitement that had me diving into and devouring this book was its author. George Mann is a phenomenal writer, especially in his stories that are written for slightly younger audiences. We'll talk about his short story anthologies, especially Life Day Treasury, which he wrote with Cavan Scott, very soon on this show. He's an extremely captivating storyteller, and to me, his characters remain some of the most memorable from the High Republic. I really don't love how harshly middle grade Star Wars is judged, especially by readers who haven't even given them a chance. Now, if you've tried Star Wars middle grade and it's not for you, that's one thing. You don't have to love every Star Wars book. In fact, if you don't like some of them, it turns out that's okay. But if you're just knocking it because it's written for 12-year-olds or whatever, that's not cool. These stories still have real-world implications. There are things in these books you might actually be able to relate to. The writing isn't less than or bad just because it's catered to younger readers. And there's also nothing wrong with loving these books as an adult, for the record. Speaking as an adult who loves these books. As with all the other middle grade High Republic books, Quest for the Hidden City is an important and worthwhile addition to the overarching story being told. If it's not your thing, that's okay. But especially if Phase 2 of the High Republic is your first deep dive into this storytelling era, I highly recommend giving it a try. Who knows, you might love it. Quest for the Hidden City by George Mann is available now wherever you get your Star Wars books. Now This Is Lit is part of the Faraway Fandom Network and is written, produced, hosted, and edited by me. Jose Jimenez designed our podcast art. Keep up with the show on Twitter at Star Wars Lit Pod, and find the show wherever you get your podcasts. If you would like to support the show, subscribe to our newsletter. It comes out hopefully weekly. We're doing our best, and by we, I mean me. It's all me. It's all me. It's fine. The newsletter is a great way to support because it's another way for people to find the show. Finding things on the internet is hard. So any way that you can promote the things that creators are making and it doesn't take a lot of time for you, do the thing. It can't hurt. And for more book reviews and Star Wars Book Celebration, follow Star Wars Book Reviews on Instagram.